everybody, KIX here, and welcome to my new LP of Mario Kart 64. Now, before we even get started, let me just say that Mario Kart 64 is by far my favorite Mario Kart game of all time. Even though I haven't played Mario Kart 7, which is the newest one in the franchise, but besides the point, this one is 100% my all-time favorite Mario Kart game. I don't know, guys. It's just something about this game that I don't know. In fact, Mario Kart 64 was the sole reason why I got an N64 in the first place. When I first played that game, I was like, I gotta have it. And after so many years, I still play this game off and on. So I figured, you know what? I want to do an LP of this, or walk through it, play through something of this. Now, unfortunately, this first episode is not going to have too much gameplay. It's going to be more of me explaining stuff. And I know that sucks a little bit, because it's like, well, you're doing a let's play of it, you should play. But I'd rather get through all the informational stuff in this video and start racing in the next video. Because this is not a very long game. Pretty short, actually. It can be frustrating, but it's a short game and whatnot. And we'll get to all of that as I explain these things. But for anyone that's never played it, first I just gotta ask, why not? Why haven't you not played this game? This game is a ball of fun. But you know, I'm quite sure there's going to be a lot of people who are familiar with the Mario Kart series and has played at least one of the games of Mario Kart. But like I said, this is my personal favorite, and this is kind of why I want to do this Let's Play. Now, as you can see, this holds up to 4-player co-op, because it's on the N64, so obviously 4 players. And our main thing, what I'll be going through, will be the Mario Grand Prix. Now, as far as one player is concerned, all you get is the Mario Grand Prix and trials. And with time trials, most likely you get to go through every track, pretty much practice them, and try to get the best time possible. 2-player mode has a Grand Prix in it, but it also has Versus, which is you and your friend, and then it has Battle. I don't know, I'm not sure if I'm going to go into Versus or Battle, but it's all pretty much self-explanatory and whatnot. Unfortunately, both 3 players and 4 players don't have Mario Grand Prix, which I think would have been very interesting to see them have a Grand Prix for those modes, but they just have Versus and Battle. Not too much more than that. Another thing before we get started is I want to talk about the power-ups in this game. There is quite a few, not like a whole bunch of them like they do in later titles, but with this game, it has like at least some power-ups. Some are overpowered, some are just average. But I would like to say, it's how you use the power-ups that help you to win the races. A lot of people would say that Mario Kart, and I would say this is more for later games, but it kind of applies to this one too, that is somewhat luck-based, and it's kind of like the draw of the item that you get. But if you know how to use all the items correctly and effectively, you shouldn't have any problems staying at least in first or in the top 3. But as far as power-ups, we have the mushroom, which is more like a nitrous kind of thing. It gives you an instant boost of power. Makes you, nitrous, whatever. And then we have the 3 shrooms. I think on occasions you can get a 2 shroom, but that's very rare. And I think it happens, but I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that. But there is one we get 3 shrooms, or 3 mushrooms, whatever. And, you use them sparingly. You also have a kind of yellowish goldish mushroom, which gives you unlimited boost for a limited time. It's weird. It's unlimited, but you only can use it for a limited time. But it can come in handy. You would think that it's kind of a pain, and a little bit is, but it can come in handy when you least expect it. The next power up we have is the star. Now the star is just pretty much the ultimate shroom without hitting the boost and being able to knock out everybody. It's probably one of the most useful items when you're in a pinch. Excuse me. But it doesn't last that long, so this is also another item that you want to use sparingly. Probably one of the most powerful items is the Thunderbolt. Pretty much what Thunderbolt does, it hits everybody on the screen, and it shrinks everyone down, and it lets you catch up to everyone. But the thing is, from the first to the last, like wherever place you're at, each person in front of you will go back to regular size. So it takes, if you're in first place in someone's lightning bolt, it will probably take you the longest to become full size. But everyone else behind you will be in regular size, and then you'd be the last person. If that makes any sense at all. But I would like to say this: if someone uses a lightning bolt and at the same time you are using a star, it does not affect you whatsoever. So if you are playing 2-player and you're working as a team, if someone gets Thunderbolt and someone else gets a star, let the person use a star first and then use Thunderbolt, and then you two can instantly tag team it and win. Next we have shells. You have green shells and red shells. Green shells, pretty much you have to aim them at your opponents to hit them. And 9 times out of 10 you're probably going to miss, unless you have like really good aim, or you can at least predict where the other drivers are going to turn or get in the way or whatnot. These are also good projectiles to protect yourself defensively. And that's most of the time how I use them, unless I have no other choice but to shoot it at somebody. I try to use these shells defensively. As for the red shell, it's more like a homing missile. You shoot that, who's ever in front of you at the time will no longer be in front of you unless they're extremely far away, or it's like a sharp turn and the red shell just hits the object and not your opponent. It does happen, but most of the time you should be close enough to the person to hit them. But with the green and the red shells, you can actually come up lucky, and I would say lucky for either one, if you can get 3 shells of the green or the red. Now obviously all 3 red shells would be all 3 homing missiles, and the 3 green shells is most likely you want to aim. What I would suggest for anyone that's getting into the series, if you ever get 3 shells around you, you hold them because they are your biggest shield. There's other shields in there, but that is by far your biggest shield among all the other items in the game, because not only does it shield you, but you can use it in a pinch to knock somebody else ahead of you at the same time. Our next item is the legendary blue shell of doom. This is by far its introduction. This shell was introduced in this game, and it's a rare item. You will normally not get this, and the chances of you getting this shell is very rare. I've gotten it every once in a while, and even less of once in a while it's ever been used. It has been used a few times, and it will mess you up. It doesn't, like in the future games, it kind of just flies through the screen and knocks people off, and it slams down the person in the first place. In this game, it acts like a homing missile, like the red shells, but this one would just, it has like a certain path that it goes through, and it just hits everyone, and it stops at the person who's at first place. To be honest, when you get this shell, you want to use it immediately, and you want to catch up with everyone, because if you fail by using this shell, there's something wrong with you. That's all I can really say. The next item is the banana. These things, you can throw them ahead of you, you can drop them behind you. Most likely, you want to hold on to them because they are defensive items that will help you along your progress. And if someone had like a green or red shell or even a star, that banana most likely will save you. I'm not too sure about the star, but the rest of them, yeah, it would save you. Unfortunately, that blue shell of doom is still going to kill you. It's kind of game over when that thing hits you. Also, there is the group of bananas, which when you use this, use it defensively. It's going to have a trail of bananas behind you, and as you're driving, you can pick up other items, and you can hold, like, you don't even have to hold on to it like you have to do with the other shells, which I should probably mention. Single banana, and the red shell, and the blue shell, and the blue shell Doom, you want to hold on to. Like, you can have it, like when you use it, you can hold on to it until you release it, and then you can let it go. Most of the time, you kind of want to hold on to it till you get another item, because you can at least get 2 items, 1 ready to go and 1 in your inventory. Before I continue on, Ghost is an item that pretty much makes you into a ghost. You're invisible. Nothing can harm you. But as a bonus, every time you use Ghost, you have the chance of stealing somebody else's item. Whether it be a star, it could be anything. But there's also the chance that you get absolutely nothing. So honestly, you want to use that item, I wouldn't say frequently, but you might want to wait a while before you want to go ahead and use it, because you might start the game, start the race, get an item, and have that, and then no one would have anything. You probably want to wait a while and then use it, and then you'll probably get a good item. Hopefully. And the last thing is the fake item box. Pretty much it's an explosive. If you land it in front of people, it will pretty much wreck their car. The best thing to do with these is either hold them or you line them up perfectly with an item box, so that way when they hit it, they most likely get an item, but they'll still get hit at the same time. And that's pretty much all the items. So now that I got that out of the way, I know, long-winded, right? Let's get into this. Now, for Grand Prix, we have 50cc, 100cc's, 150cc's, and extra, which I call the 200cc's. Pretty much think of this as easy to hard. So 50cc's is easy, 100cc is kind of like normal, 150 is hard, and extra is difficult. The difference why they call it extra and not 200cc's, because they take 150cc's and pretty much flip all the tracks.
Mario
We are going to be going after Mario done talking. Thank you, Mario. We're going to go with 150cc's.
Select your player.
And here we go with the character selection. We have a total of 8. Now, I remember before this game came out that instead of Wario, there was supposed to be Kamek, I believe. I believe it was supposed to be Kamek that was supposed to be the spot, but they changed it and made it Wario. I remember in the original Super Nintendo version, there was a Koopa Trooper. So, yeah, they kind of just kicked that out and put Wario in his place, which is, he's okay, he's decent. But as far as characters are concerned, Mario and Luigi are pretty much in the middle. They're evenly balanced characters. I think Luigi's a little bit better than Mario, but not by much. I mean, they're pretty much equal, but yeah, it's kind of like little one-sided and whatnot. But they're the characters in the middle. If you're starting out, they're pretty much good characters to start off with. If you are a if you like using powerful characters, your best bet is DK, Wario, and Bowser. These are your heavy characters. Pretty much, they might take a little while to accelerate, but they do get some pretty good top speeds. And another thing is, if you play as any of them, you can easily bump into someone, especially if you get a boost, and wreck them hardcore style, especially with Bowser and DK. Sometimes with Wario, but mostly with Bowser and DK. Which leads us to our kind of speed group of the bunch, which would be Peach and Yoshi. They are pretty balanced, but they're above Mario and Luigi. They're pretty decent, and me personally, I've always used Yoshi. If I had to use somebody else, it would be the fastest person, which is Toad. Toad is the fastest, but unfortunately, he is the lightest character in this game. Meaning, if any, say you're in lead, and out of nowhere Bowser just kind of slams you, you can literally get wrecked from that. So I would suggest, if you're playing as Toad, that you put your A game on, because almost anyone can pretty much knock you around big time. And that's pretty much all of the characters. That was a lot easier than the items. We're gonna go with Yoshi. And like I said, in the next episode, we will go through all of these. Well, not all of them. We'll do one at a time. First one we'll do is Mushroom Cup. That's the first one. It's pretty much the easiest one. It's kind of like introducing you to the world of Mario Kart 64. Then we got Flower Cup, which is a little bit more difficult, but not by much. It's still fairly, I would say, above normal, but kind of easy, if that makes sense. Now, me personally, Star Cup is when things start getting a little bit difficult. You might see me rage around this point. I'm not saying that I will, but there's a good chance that I might start yelling at the computer screen because the game likes to cheat. I should also mention that, oh, before I get to that, the last one, Special Stage, honestly, the only one that ever gets me is that Haunted House, because that is not an easy track to do, especially under 150 cc's. And as far as I'm concerned, before I end this video, let me just say that out of all the Mario Kart games, I find the original and this one to be by far the hardest. Mainly because of the computer AI, one and two, can be really brutal. They are brutal in the previous games, but it's kind of more like cheap brutal, while this one seems to be like, we are out to get you. I don't know, I've played a lot of the other Mario Kart games, and it just seemed kind of easy to me. But this one always seems to have the most challenge for me. I played it like for almost, it seemed like forever, but still, this is the one Mario Kart game that just gives me the most satisfaction and by far the most challenge. But yeah, guys, in the next episode, we will start in Mario, we will start in Mushroom Cup. Don't know what I was thinking about, all this information overload. And again, you know, sorry for this being informational in this video, but I wanted to get it out of the way so that way when I start this cup, I don't have to worry about explaining anything, mostly. Also, before I end this video, I would like to try something a little bit different. I've noticed that other Let's Players have done like questions towards their videos, and I want to try to do that as well. And in this question, my question to you guys is, if you are a fan of Mario Kart, of any of the Mario Karts, please let me know which one is your favorite and why is it your favorite. But until then, guys, I'm going to sign out. So as always, stay cooly, and I'll see you all next time.